Hey everybody, welcome to TIW Podcast. I'm Eric, and today I watched WWE NXT episode 545, which was broadcast on January 22nd, 2020, and NXT UK episode 77, which was broadcast on the 23rd of January 2020. I said those words very strangely. I don't know why. But anyway, a couple of excellent episodes, some great matchups, and all the setup we need going into Worlds Collide, where we'll see Undisputed Era face off against Imperium. Okay, so we'll get to that. We open up. Well, we have Undisputed here at the top of the show. I kind of assumed that Undisputed Era and Imperium were going to lose their matches on this episode because I thought that the Dusty Classic was going to conclude at Worlds Collide, which would make sense because it looked like it was shaping up to be NXT versus NXT UK in the final, and it is NXT versus NXT UK in the final, but that match is happening next week, not this weekend. So all along I thought things were spoilers, and they were spoilers, but not because they were, but they weren't spoilers because of what I thought they would be, which was to enable the Worlds Collide match to be all of Imperium versus all of Undisputed Era, a 4-on-4 match. But anyway, Undisputed Era faced off against Grizzled Young Veterans in the semifinal, in the one of the two semifinal matches in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. And before this match, Adam made the statement to Imperium, "We're not hard to find, so come at us, bros." He didn't say bros. But Imperium interrupted the match by standing up on their the perch over the announce desk, and their music played. Everybody was dazzled, including Undisputed Era, and so James Drake pinned Kyle O'Reilly for the win, and they advance to the final, which will be next week on Wednesday, like I already said. Then we had Toni Storm versus Io Shirai. This match ended in disqualification when Bianca Belair appeared and attacked Toni, and then Rhea Ripley arrived to fight off Bianca and Io, and there's a big old brawl between all of them, and that was getting us moving onward to the Toni versus Rhea Ripley match here at Worlds Collide for the NXT UK Women's Championship. What was I going to say about... Oh, I thought for a second that maybe they were going to turn that into a fatal four-way or something like that. But it was really just getting things going also towards TakeOver Portland, which we will see whoever wins on Saturday go on to defend the championship against Bianca Belair. So we'll see how all that turns out. I think Rhea Ripley is going to win, but then again, Toni Storm defeated Rhea Ripley twice, but also Rhea Ripley initially won the championship by... No, who did she win the championship by fighting? Because, okay, Toni won the championship at TakeOver Blackpool 1. She won it from Rhea Ripley. And Rhea Ripley won the championship in a tournament on NXT UK. And, okay, I'm going to look this up because I can, and why not? All right, so I'm pulling up the Wikipedia page for the NXT UK Women's Championship, and oh yeah, she did defeat Toni Storm for the championship on the 11/28 episode, which was filmed way back in August, of 2018. But anyway, yeah, I mean, Rhea has defeated Tony before. Tony has defeated Rhea before. So it's, I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. But I think Rhea is going to win. It's her first title defense since winning the championship. So I think she's going to successfully defend it at least until TakeOver Tampa or whatever they call it, WrestleMania weekend. But anyway, up next we had Finn Balor versus Joaquin Wilde. Finn Balor won via 1916. And then we had Shotzi Blackheart versus Shayna Baszler. This match was pretty dope. I liked it. It was another one of my favorite Shayna Baszler matches. And while she is good in it, Shayna's always pretty good. But Shotzi working together with her was particularly excellent, I thought. But Shayna got the upper hand eventually with that Karafuda clutch, and then after Shotzi tapped out, Shayna just kept holding her in that hold, and that's kind of rude. Not gonna lie, pretty rude, Shayna. But at least we're not having Shayna go right after the championship right away. It seems like she wants to go right back after the NXT championship and not go on to Raw or SmackDown to challenge Becky or Bayley or them. It seems she's pretty focused on them for right now. So I think we could see Shayna challenge for the championship at the Tampa show TakeOver. But we'll see how that all turns out as well. There is surprisingly maybe not so surprisingly, but not a whole lot of talk, not really any talk at all about the Royal Rumble on either of these episodes because they're both building to Worlds Collide. Now, there might be some more hype during Worlds Collide for the Royal Rumble, and especially that morning, we might get some NXT people announced to be in the Rumble match. But I'm also okay with most of them just being surprises. People who I want to see in the Royal Rumble match from NXT and NXT UK. Walter, he's got to be in there. He's going to be in town anyway. He'd be great to see in there. Keith Lee, of course. We'll get to talking about him a little bit more in just a second. Matt Riddle, I really want to see him in that match. And as far as the other guys go, seeing like Johnny Gargano in there would be pretty cool. Velveteen Dream hasn't made his return on NXT yet, but that would be a nice surprise. And maybe he just doesn't even come back to NXT. Maybe he goes maybe he wins the Royal Rumble. Maybe Velveteen Dream wins the Royal Rumble and goes straight after Brock Lesnar. That'd be pretty interesting. And then on the women's side, Tegan Nox, she's got to be in there. She hasn't been able to... I don't think she's been able to participate in a Royal Rumble yet. I think she maybe was in the WrestleMania Battle Royal maybe last year. I'm not sure. Dakota Kai definitely was the year before that. But either of them, Dakota Kai and the Royal Rumble would be great as well. I think we're going to see more women from NXT and NXT UK in the Royal Rumble than men. In their match, because there are fewer women on Raw and SmackDown at the moment than there are men on those two shows. So I think that's going to mean we see a lot of. It would be awesome to see Shotzi in there. I fully expect Shayna and Rhea and Tony to be on there, but it'd also be cool to see Bianca. Really, any of them in the Royal Rumble will be really, really exciting. Io Shirai, absolutely. I hope she's in there, and I hope she's in there at the same time as Kairi, and that they could have some either team up or nemesis type moments, because that would be really cool. I guess that pretty much covers my predictions for the Royal Rumble. I'm not going to be able to. I'm going to talk more predictions at the end of this episode that don't have anything to do with NXT, because I don't think I'm going to be able to record another episode until after until I talk about the Royal Rumble. I probably won't be able to do a SmackDown episode unless I'm able to watch it Saturday morning, which could be possible. We'll see what happens. But yeah, at the end of this episode, I'll talk about some of the matches, some of the one-on-one matches, championship matches, and stuff like that. So anyway, then we had the other semifinal Dusty Classic match, Broserweights versus Imperium. Broserweights got a clean victory over Imperium. I was really expecting Undisputed Era to play into this somehow, but they didn't. Grizzled Young Veterans come out. They say some stuff to the Broserweights, and they at one point mention joint manipulation, and Matt Riddle was like, bro, I don't even know what you said. You said joint manipulation, manipulating joints, and I got distracted and daydreaming. So I don't know. So that was really funny. But Pete Dunne, as well, all you did was remind you that anytime that you fought me, you've lost. So that was a nice flip on the Grizzled Young Veterans script there. And yeah, I'm excited for this. I think that match could be I think it's going to be pretty awesome. I think a lot of people who are not familiar with the Grizzled Young Veterans, hopefully they've been getting won over by them throughout this tournament, but I think they'll win everybody over even more here in the final. But I fully expect the Broserweights to win and then go on to challenge Undisputed Era for the tag team championships at TakeOver Portland, and that would be a pretty badass match too. And then our main event, a must-see main event, Roderick Strong versus Keith Lee. Roderick Strong is trying to focus on that ankle that they partially injured last week, but it's not enough. Keith Lee, I think he hit the Spirit Bomb to win it, but he whatever he finished the match with, he wins. He's the new champion, and everything is glorious. But that's the wrong form of that word. It's time to bask in the glory of Keith Lee. I also can't quote his theme song because I don't remember his theme. I need to learn his theme song on piano. That is not it. But Imperium did arrive to showdown with Undisputed Era, and Adam Cole got just destroyed with the biggest chop that has ever occurred. That he's it's like when in Avengers Endgame when what's her name like knocks the Hulk over with just like a little flick, except he did a chop, and then his body just goes bleh, and then his soul is just ejected out from him, and he's like, oh, what the hell's happening here? That's pretty much what happened to Adam Cole, baby. So yeah, this showdown was awesome. I need to go back and actually watch it. I had to watch like little clips and GIFs of it, of most of the highlights, especially that chop, because my feed was like speaking of chops, my feed was very choppy. So it was a bad chop interrupting the good chop. But I also had some pork chops at the same time. They're delicious. No, I didn't. I haven't had pork chops in forever. Probably since last June. Maybe. I don't know. When was the last time I had pork chops? I think last time I had pork chops was probably on Drum Corps tour, and it was surely 2 years. It was at least 2018. That's the soonest. That's the most recent I could have possibly had pork chops. Because I highly doubt I have sat at a restaurant and asked somebody, I would like the pork chops, please. Because they probably usually have, if they have pork chops, they have other stuff that I like more than pork chops. Anyway, moving onward to NXT UK episode 77. I have to correct my previous episode about episode 75. That was not episode 75. Oh, maybe it was. No, it was not episode 74. It was episode 75. I think I was going. Okay, my My count is also unreliable because I'm just assuming that the episode count on this one website is correct for each year. They do not have a running total for the episodes. They just have the episodes numbered for each year. So they start over in January each time. So there's 20 episodes in 2018. There was then 45 episodes in 2000. Yeah, is that right? No, there's 44 episodes in 2019. I think that might be off a little bit. Whatever adds up to 74. Yeah. 54 episodes. No, 50, is that right? 54? How could there have been 54 episodes in 2000? That doesn't sound right at all. Okay, I'm on NXT episode guide for next-episode.net. So I'm really trusting these guys that there were 54. Why were there 54 episodes? That's a lot. That seems more than it should be. Oh, that's right. Because still at the beginning of the year, they're doing double episodes leading into the TakeOver Blackpool. That's right. That's right. And then 2020, they don't count that Focus episode, whatever that was called. But they did last year have a Blackpool review recap type episode. Okay. Anyway, NXT UK episode 77, the January 23rd episode, the last episode before Worlds Collide. This is an episode that they filmed after TakeOver Blackpool, and this set of tapings is the reason why Tom Phillips and Aiden English were not at they were not at 205 Live last week. So hopefully they're back this week. Even though, well, I'll be watching the broadcast version of it, so I do hope that that's the case. If I was going to SmackDown and 205 Live in person this week, then it wouldn't make any difference who's on in the broadcast booth. But anyway, they unveil Johnny Saint and Sid Scala. They unveil a brand new NXT UK championship to replace the WWE United Kingdom championship. And Walter says, well, it's about time you listen to me because this old one was tainted. It was corrupted. It was polluted. That's the actual word he used by those other guys, by Tyler Bates' hands and by Pete Dunne's mouth, which is a good point. He's been wearing a championship that has been in Pete Dunne's mouth a lot. But anyway, he gladly takes this new championship, and then we're off to the races with Jordan Devlin versus Ligero in a qualifying match to get into the Fatal 4-Way at Worlds Collide. Jordan Devlin wins, so he joins Isaiah Swerve Scott to challenge the current champion Angel Garza. Then we have Josh Morrell, newcomer. I think this is his debut. They're talking as though it's his debut. Face off against Ilya Dragunov. Ilya Dragunov wins, and then Joe Coffey comes out to talk to Dragunov and say, "You helped us, but you cost me the title. But you know, you're safe for now, though." So yeah, it was kind of like a mafia sort of move. Like, we're not happy with you, but we're okay for now. But we've got an eye out. Keep an eye out, because things are going to get bad sometime, probably. There's kind of a lot of that in this episode with people looking forwards past what's happening at Worlds Collide. Another example of that is Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster basically challenging Imperium, because Imperium has not won the tag team titles yet. And so I think, well, with that, you're not so great because you haven't even done that. We've done that. So that match will happen next week, I think. It sounded like they wanted that match to happen in this episode, and if it did, I completely missed it. I don't think it happened in this episode, but I may be completely mistaken. And then the final match of the night, in the main event, another qualifying match for that Cruiserweight Championship match at Worlds Collide. Travis Banks versus the Brian Kendrick. Travis Banks won via the Kiwi Crusher. Both of these Cruiserweight matches are absolutely worth watching. And I didn't write down anything specific about them, but yeah, I did enjoy them a lot. Oh, that reminds me of another thing from Shotzi and Shayna versus Shayna. They were Shotzi threw Shayna out of the ring, through the ropes, maybe over the top rope, and then Shayna right after that threw Shotzi out of the ring on the other side. And I think Morrow is like, this isn't a battle royal match, but like I don't understand why they were not hyping that up as being like a preview of what could happen at the Royal Rumble. If either of them are in the Royal Rumble, they could be eliminating each other in such a manner. So, and I mean, it was a reference to what happened last week, of course, but I hope we see both of them in the Royal Rumble. So anyway, let's talk about the other matches that will be on Worlds Collide. I think I did mention everything. Okay. We talked about the 8-man tag team match. Who will win that match? I think Imperium will win, and that will progress things for Undisputed Era. That things are just going wrong, more and more wrong for them as the Golden Era comes to might come to an end. I don't know. Maybe. I kind of hope not, but it would be interesting to see. Then we have Rhea Ripley versus Toni Storm. I think Rhea Ripley will win there. Finn Balor will definitely destroy Ilya Dragunov. There's no question about that, I don't think, at all. Then we have Angel Garza versus Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Jordan Devlin versus Travis Banks. I think Angel Garza will win, but I would not be upset at all if either of the other guys win that match. My number one pick would be Swerve, but it's close. Number 3 would be Travis Banks. Jordan Devlin, I don't think he needs it at all. He's doing his thing in NXT UK. But Travis Banks, he's already made some appearances over at NXT, and it would be really cool to see. I think it would be really cool to see him as a champion, as Cruiserweight champion. Lots of great matchups that could come out of that. But I am pretty sure that Angel Garza is going to win. And then we have DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa versus Mustache Mountain, Trent Seven, and Tyler Bates. I don't know who's going to win this match. It could go it's just going to be awesome. I think Mustache Mountain might have the edge because they've been teamed up more recently, but you can't deny the magic of DIY and them being back together. That just sparks will happen, and I think this entire match is going to be great no matter who wins. But I'm betting on Mustache Mountain getting the victory there, especially because everybody else, NXT is going to win all the other matches, I think. Except for this one, also Imperium, I think, is going to win that match. But Mia Yim versus Kaylee Ray, singles match. It is not for the NXT UK Women's Championship, but like I said before, I am very excited that I will get to see a Kaylee Ray match, a singles match, and not involving ladders or cages or anything, just a straight up match. Because Mia Yim versus Shayna Baszler, I really liked that match back at TakeOver Toronto, and I think this could be really good. So there you go. Let's also talk real quick about the Royal Rumble, the matches that have been announced. Of course, the men's Royal Rumble match and the women's Royal Rumble match. I think I keep changing my mind on who I'm looking forward to possibly winning. I think I've settled on pretty much Sasha Banks for the women's and Drew McIntyre for the men's. Those are my top picks for those two matches. If Ronda Rousey returns to enter the Royal Rumble match, she's 100% winning. But until that happens, at number 30, I'll be rooting for Sasha Banks. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt versus Daniel Bryan. I think this is a strap match. They'll be attached at the wrist. I talked about this already on last week's SmackDown episode. I think the Fiend is going to win, but it'll be interesting, and I think it's going to be pretty innovative, definitely different from anything else on the rest of the night. Then we have Becky Lynch versus Asuka. I want Asuka to win. I'm rooting for Asuka to win. I think that would be the most interesting thing. Going to, I mean, we still have like 2.5 months to build up to WrestleMania. Asuka as a champion, and Becky be like, what the hell? Why can't I beat her? Even more, I think that would be pretty good. Then we have Roman Reigns versus King Corbin in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Because of this match, I don't think either of them is going to win the Royal Rumble. But then again, it could argue the other way, that it'll be even more unexpected that they win after they go through like a mountain of tables and all kinds of crazy stuff. Probably, I don't know of any special landmarks in this arena or in this stadium, in this field, in this, what is it called? Minute Maid, in this park. It's a ballpark. But I don't know. I think this match could be really, really fun. Then we have Shorty G versus Sheamus. This is a singles match. Sheamus is gonna win. He's gonna win. He's gonna destroy Shorty G. But I think it could be a very, very entertaining match, and a real nice dynamic between the two of them. Little guy versus big guy, all that usual stuff. I think they'll put on a good show there. Bayley versus Lacey Evans. This has been made official, apparently, and I missed that it was made official. But Lacey Evans defeated Bayley on SmackDown last week, so it makes sense. You know, I don't know. It would make a lot. I think Lacey Evans could absolutely win this match and be the champion, going at least into Elimination Chamber, and then maybe she has to defend it in Elimination Chamber, and Sasha Banks win. Okay, so if Sasha doesn't win the Royal Rumble, but she wins the champ. Okay, I think Sasha Banks. I want Sasha Banks to win the Royal Rumble, but if she doesn't, I kind of hope that Lacey Evans wins the SmackDown Women's Championship, and then we have the SmackDown Women's Championship defended in the Elimination Chamber next month or in March. And in that match, Sasha Banks wins the championship, and then now Bayley wants to go after. She wants the championship back, so she has to go after Sasha Banks to get that championship. I think that could be pretty good. Or if the Elimination Chamber could also be to get the championship opportunity, in which case Sasha could win it there. I don't know, but meanwhile Bayley or I don't know. Basically what I'm saying is that whatever happens, I hope we end up with Bayley versus Sasha at WrestleMania for the SmackDown Women's Championship. There you go. And then we also have Andrade defending his United States Championship against Humberto Carrillo, and that is going to be fantastic. And it better not be on the kickoff show. I kind of feel like it might end up being on the kickoff show, but because it is a 2-hour kickoff, they might get some at least 15 minutes. But I really want it to be I really hope it's on the main show and that they get at least 15. If it's on the kickoff, it's probably gonna be like 10 minutes. But man, that's gonna be great. I think that's gonna be the best match besides the Rumble matches. Actually probably be better as an actual match than the Rumble matches, but the Rumble matches are their own category, you know. So there you go. That's everything that's happening this weekend. There might be more that develops on SmackDown, possibly. I'm really hoping to see New Day versus Miz and Morrison for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. That could be pretty cool. And that's really the only one that I really want to see added. So I'm excited. This is going to be so much fun this weekend. And I'll stay tuned. I'll be talking about all of it soon enough. If I might get rest, it's not going to have music and all of that like I have been doing, but or maybe I'll record them but not actually post them until I can get back home and like make them sound a little bit better than before the new year. But that's it. Let me know what you thought about this week's NXT and NXT UK and what you hope happens at Worlds Collide and the Royal Rumble by tweeting me at TIW Podcast. Go to TIWpodcast.com for more reviews. If you enjoyed this episode or anything else on the sites, please share some links with your friends. I'm like throwing myself off if I think like I said that differently than I usually do. I said the same words that I usually do, but I said it in like with a different cadence or whatever. Anyway, go to TIW Podcast for more reviews. If you enjoyed this episode or anything else on the site, please share some links with your friends. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, wherever you like to listen. Stay safe out there in all the internet multiverses, and I'll see you next time here on TIW Podcast. Bye.